So, Isabel, welcome. How you
Thank you.
doing? Just
Fine. Yeah.
yeah. I heard you just came back from China.
Yes. Yes. China.
What
China.
what
China.
what's going on in China? Why'd you go there?
Well, they Moana. She was arranging a workshop for photojournalism in wedding photography, and well, she asked some people from all over the world and to give a workshop, and it was amazing. Those people, yeah, they heard about wedding photography and photojournalism, but they had a totally different approach than we have. And so it was like a shock, but a good shock for them. Yes. So yeah, that was going on a little bit.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I've known you for quite some time now already. I think maybe 7, 8, 9, 10 years.
Yeah.
We go back quite a while,
Yeah.
and I've seen you like change in your photography approach and your how you travel the world now with your photography. Like, can you tell me a little bit more about how that change came about?
Yes. Yes. I can tell a little bit. I've been a photographer for 18 years, I think now, and well, at a certain point, after 13 years, I thought, well, my goals were that I have a voice as a photographer, that I want to show that wedding photography can also be not always traditional, but you can also make it storytelling, make it funny, and see all the cliches in a totally different approach. So, and then I thought, after 13 years, I still didn't change anything. So maybe I should apply some contests to show who I am and what I want to tell with my pictures, because I never believed in contests. And when I did that, I immediately won a lot of awards, and people were getting to know me and my work. And my only goal was to show that wedding photography can also be different than the posing stuff what we know from the past. So yeah, from that on, that was in 2014, I guess, or 15. It totally goes like a roller coaster.
Yeah.
I won a lot of awards, and they asked me for conferences, workshops, and all over the world. And well, my life changed a lot since then, but in a very good way. It's like it's an amazing life. Yes.
Yeah, I can imagine. It's sort of like this dream when you start out as a wedding photographer that you want to travel the world and just do stuff like this, right? Uh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes. And didn't know that I love teaching so much, because when you win an award, you're happy. But if a student is winning, you can be happy together. And if you share inspiration, the energy is so much more better than being alone in your profession, to be honest. So yeah, it's like it worked out better than I could imagine.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, great.
Yeah.
So let's go some rapid fire with you, some quick questions, and you can answer me very quick as well, right? Some short answers. What's your favorite music artist to listen to when you're traveling so much?
Oh, I never listen to music when I'm traveling.
Okay.
I always listen when I'm home to music, and it depends on my mood. I don't know. I just listen to some. I dance every day. When I'm editing, I stop editing and I do some free dancing here, and then I go back to my screen. And I also dance with my daughter a lot. I dance at reggaeton and at like just like pop music or house music. Doesn't matter. It's just what we like, and that's what I love. And yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So, is there anything or anybody you like to follow at social media?
yeah. You mean other artists?
Well, artists or companies or some fun things.
Some colleagues, I always want to know how they are because I love them, like Susanna Barbera, Rocio Vega, Mayra, and but also Martin Parr is somebody who I follow. I have also like inspirational women that I follow, like Mignon from Rotterdam. So on Instagram, I follow some typical artists that really inspires me, but not, to be honest, I just not look at them special. They just came by and I want to know about it because, yeah, it's like a lot of time to follow everybody. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, what's your favorite country in the world outside of the Netherlands?
Ooh, my favorite country from, yeah, it still is Mexico. And I don't know why, because when I came there for the first time, I saw happy people on the street, like making music, and it felt like home. Um, and the food was so good there, and I felt very relaxed. And
Yeah.
well, it's still I didn't found people like them in other countries. Brazil was a little bit similar. It was the same vibe, but yeah, it felt more like home. But China, for example, the people are so nice, but they're so different than we are. So yeah, I that's also one of my favorite countries because they're so polite and so nice, just like Thailand. But for now on, Mexico is still my favorite. Yes.
Good, good, good.
Yeah.
So, what do you like to do for fun in the weekends when you don't have a wedding?
Party. So yeah, I like to see my family. That always my parents with my daughter, and also with friends having nice drinks and go out. And I like to party with dancing, but not always, of course. Just like to meet. I'm very social. I love to meet other people. That's
Yeah.
what I like. Yeah.
Okay. And what's your favorite food?
Hmm. Well, Japanese and I like Thai food and I like Mexican food, but not in Holland. So
You have to go to Mexico for that, right?
yeah, the Mexican food in Holland, maybe there is very good, but I didn't taste it yet. But the Thai food is very good in Holland. I like it, and
Yeah.
the Japanese food, it's okay in Holland, but in Japan, it's wow. Yeah, you really have to taste it. It's very good. Yeah.
Okay, so you're a photojournalist mainly.
Yes.
Do you hate posing or do you see it as a challenge?
A challenge, and yeah, well, I need it. I need it because I make stories around it. It's just that part of like the ceremony or group pictures, everybody wants them. So it's a tradition. And if people want to pose, we're going to do that. I want love to give that to the wedding couple if they want that. But I make a story around it that they have struggles with the dress or that they see the venue with a nice sunlight for the first time and a friend is helping them. That's all that kind of pictures. I keep looking and shooting around it, and that are most of the pictures that I use. I also use a posing picture for them, but that's just one part of the whole session.
Yeah. Okay. So it's not that you became a storytelling wedding photographer at the start because you didn't like to pose people.
No, no, to be honest, when I started wedding photography, it was my favorite part of the wedding. And I always, it's like I could hate group pictures because everybody has to stand in line, but I love it. What happenings around it, like they do the jacket of grandmother a little bit better, or a little child is struggling that they don't want to have, he doesn't want to be on the picture. I love those things around it, and I need the traditional stuff. You know, I mean, it's a wedding, so there it's full of traditions, and this is also part of it. So it's I never hated that, to be honest. Yeah, I hate it when they have hundreds of group pictures, but that's an exception. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, I think everybody hates that. Right.
Yeah, I don't see.
So,
It doesn't make sense to do that, but sometimes you have that. Yeah.
so do you have a favorite wedding that's stuck in your head? Like from the last few years or so, maybe longer ago?
if I'm going to say that, I'm going to insult a lot of other wedding couples. You know that.
Yeah. Is there anything how you would describe your own work or describe your images that you like to take?
um, yeah, I would tell them like that they are storytelling, but everybody uses that word, but it's true. I want to tell a story about the character of people. I want to tell the story about who they are and what happens on a day, not only with them, but also the guests, and do it in a spontaneous way. And I see a lot of fun. It's how I see the world. I always want to laugh and see jokes and emotions. And I look always at faces, mimics, body language. I'm thinking in people. My passion is not only photography, but also people. So I'm not like fond of beautiful light. I always see immediately faces of people. So that's what you see in my work. A lot of faces, a lot of connections between people, a lot of fun. So that's a little bit how I would describe it. Yes.
Yeah. So is that also one of the goals when you go to a wedding that you want to capture that, or do you have more goals like on a technical level or um, anything?
Um, well, in the past, I always had goals. For now, I don't have that. The only goal that I have is like go in the flow with the wedding couple and make their story and connect with them, come in their love bubble. You know, they always have like a bubble together, and I want to feel that. I don't want any noise of negativity. I just want to go totally in it, drown myself in that energy, and go with their flow intuitively, and then make pictures of what happens. And I don't want to think what's going to happen a little bit because I have to anticipate on moments, but I want to be open for every story. So I'm always like, I love it that I don't know everything yet. That's a little bit my approach to a wedding.
Yeah, nice. So do you interact a lot with the couple during the
Yeah,
day, or are you more like a fly on the wall type?
I'm not a fly on the wall. No, no, but I'm not like what I say. I'm not invisible. That's like a fairy tale. I mean, we are there. Even if you're a fly on the wall, you still be a fly on the wall. You're there. So what I say is, I want that my camera become invisible. I want you to take me into your group, and we're connected, and I'm become a part of you, of your guests, of who you are, and you don't have a clue anymore that I am the photographer. I am somebody who is near around you, and you accept me in your surrounding, and you don't have a clue about what I'm doing. You just feel that I'm there, and it feels very comfortable. And if you need some support, I'm there. But if you don't see me, it's also good. So it's just that I want to be one of them and not being separated like the photographer and the wedding couple. They have to feel like one. So that's also how I explain it to my wedding couple. So I want them to show them vulnerability, and I also have to be vulnerable myself too, because we all want that crying bride on our picture. So if I open myself, they also have to open themselves, and that's what I also tell them. And they want that kind of pictures. So they open themselves and they allow me in their surrounding. And I'm there, but they accept me just as every other narrative near to them. So
Yeah. So you talk with them about things that happen on the wedding day and just as a friend.
yeah, yeah, just like a friend. And sometimes I say nothing. Well, it's important not to stress out if everybody's stressing. Be very cool. Like, I know my place. I know when I have to be very close and I have to be very far. But yeah, it's just if I want to make fun with them, I do that. If I feel they need it, it's okay. And if I feel I have to let them go and be alone, well, I'm there as a photographer, but I mean not connected at that moment. It's also okay. It's just that I feel what's necessary. And if I have to be that fly on the wall for a while, yeah, that could be. But if I need to be visible, it's also okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, um, do you have any long-term goals that you set for yourself? Like we talked about the short-term goals,
Yeah,
or at least goals for a wedding. But
yeah.
are there any like now that you're traveling so much and teaching, going to all these conferences? Do you live by the day more, or do you have a like a long-term goal for yourself?
Well, to be honest, my long-term goals, they change this every week. So I'm really in a transmission situation now. I have a lot of new ideas the last half year, and well, my goal is to go ahead with those workshops and the conferences. I'm good with connecting with people and find that community feeling with a lot of other photographers. And in other countries, I see how I can connect with other cultures and how we can inspire and influence our wedding photography. And that's my goal right now. But sometimes I have to go to do photojournalism and not anymore wedding photography. It changes at this moment so much because I am changing a lot this last half year. So it's a little bit scary to say what my long-term goals are. For now, my goal is to launch more workshops, to go more abroad. Workshops, I do a lot with Damon Pellman at this moment. We're going to launch more and we're going also to work with each other. We already do, but more. So that is for now the goal. But in 10 years, maybe you can ask me this in half a year.
But you said you had a lot of new ideas and new stuff. Can we hear 'em?
Yeah, of course. The idea is to build more like a photography school. Like we have workshops everywhere, you know, but like
Yeah,
connecting with each other to that people can really follow a program. I mean, the education in Holland is like so like schoolish. At least I don't know how to say it, but it's like so structured and not even coming close to reality. So I think we need an education also that's more coming close to reality, or maybe a following up after that schools in Holland. On the other side, that's one of the ideas. Another idea is to make a more worldwide community. Fearless already do, but I mean even bigger because you still have fine art photography and you have photojournalism. I think worldwide we can have wedding photography all together, like not
yeah.
separately. And also one more. I really like, well, I was busy with making pictures of divorces people. Yeah.
So you're more going into like personal documentary work as well.
Yeah, yeah, I also like that. I want to, it's very important that you always try to do some free stuff, even during your weddings, but also for your own photography, because you have to make fun, you have to do what inspires you. If you're not doing that and following up the routine and see it as making money, you can't hold it for 10 years. No.
No.
I find it's too emotional what we're doing. You have to connect with what you do. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Okay, so I saw that you are a Company Albums ambassador,
Yes.
and I also know that you've been with them for a long time already, before you were an ambassador, right? Yeah.
Yes. That's
So, are there any specific things about Company or the way that they create their albums that why you became an ambassador for them?
Oh, well, first of all, they really believe in the family feeling. You know, they are, it's not one of the biggest company over the world. It's really handmade work and they give a lot of effort to the people, to their clients, like in a personal way. So I also feel all those years already very connected with them as a family way, in a family way. And they offered me to be their ambassador because we had such a good connection. Yeah, we share a lot of inspiration. I also always mention the name when I have a workshop, and I do my best to promote them because I really believe in their products. And I saw the fabric; it's all handmade and it's authentic. I saw how people make the boxes of albums with the wood, and they paint it, and they do it very nicely with some music and a cigarette and in beautiful light. I thought this is so authentic, you know. This is a really handmade feeling product. I love that way. I love how they made all this stuff, not like in message products. And you have a special wish. I mean, every wedding is different. With them, also, every album can be different. So if you have a special wish, it can be totally, how do you say it?
Customizable. Yeah.
Customizable. Yes, yes. Yeah, that's what I like. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So let's take a look at your favorite images. We're gonna talk about 3 of them.
Okay.
The first one is about a grandma who's touching well, we can call it a behind of a bride, right? Or is
Her ass.
her
No.
her ass.
Sorry, but I had to make it. I have to say that.
That's right.
Yeah.
So why is this image so special to you?
Well, it's special because of the story behind it. It was the situation. This bride, she felt very free, and she was there getting ready with her mother. I thought also her sister and her grandmother. It was like a woman room, and I don't know the English word for the the things on the side you have to clip, make it together, and it's nobody could do that, and only grandmother said I can do that. It's from the past that we had that thing. So suddenly she realized, that grandmother, that she could be usable for getting ready, that she could really mean something for her granddaughter. And this grandmother, she cried also that she could be there in the room and that she could see her granddaughter like this, and she never expected that she could be so valuable for her granddaughter in this special moment. And with this picture is also in the room, in the house, on the wall of the grandmother, because
Wow.
it became her favorite picture. Yeah, she sent me an email by herself that she thanked me for this picture because it's such a valuable moment for her. And I think it's very nice because this picture represents the old and the young, and also the taking care of the grandmother with almost touching hands. But it's also very vulnerable because you see that ass, you know, it could almost touch that.
Yeah.
But I didn't thought like this in this moment. When you're so close to people and feel vulnerable, you don't see any naked people anymore. You only see the connections, and you forget everything around it. And that's why I love the picture. And also
Yeah.
because of this, she's amazing. Yes.
Yeah, and well, it shows that the moment is so much more valuable than the lighting or
Yeah.
the composition is good, but it's not that there's like this amazing things with light going on and structures and composition. This is just pretty straightforward, but the moment is so special that it resonates.
I knew that when I took the picture, I thought I have one window, I want to have side light because I make it more dramatic. But it was not happening like that. And this moment was so important that I thought, fuck the light. I can overexpose. I come very close. My background will be white, but I must have this moment. So this is when I thought, okay, moments first. Of course, I love beautiful light, but if this moment is so important, then it's straightforward what you say. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So let's go take a look at your next image, which is this girl drinking some champagne, or at
Yeah.
least it looks like it. Was it really champagne, or is it more lemonade for the girl?
I think it was lemonade. I don't know, to be honest, because I was not focused on that, on what was in the classes. But uh, this was a moment that it all came together. Uh, I was shooting, how do you say, the speech from the dad to the wedding couple, and I already heard these little girls were very naughty. Their father was saying, "Quiet, quiet," and I heard all the glasses like they do things with that. And I thought, oh man, I have to make pictures of the speech, but I want to go to these little naughty girls. And as soon as this speech was over, I was looking for those little girls, and I came at the back from the, a little bit further with the reception. The people were standing there, and there was the cake, and I was looking where they are, and I saw the cake and the little girls, and it was like 1 second in a moment that I could shoot this picture. I only have 3 pictures of it. Normally, I have from a good moment hundreds of pictures, but I only had one chance, and so I was almost too late because I had to make pictures of that speech. But this picture reflects that I was anticipating and that you were really fighting to have this moment. And it was already a story that I had in my mind because uh, I always see stories. Now I see the story of these little girls who doing not just drinking something, but drinking all the last parts of the champagne. And the girl in the background is already going away, like, oh my gosh, my dad is going to catch me. So that's the story what I had in mind and I'm trying to tell. And it was also like that. This dad was over them all the time. And they were really naughty. They also put their fingers in the cake before they cut it. Yeah,
Really? Oh
yeah,
my God.
they were like big patients for my story. I really love. Yeah, of course, I love children, but when they have a little bit naughty, it's fun. It's fun to make pictures. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
yeah,
but the first thing that comes to mind when I take a look at this image is, of course, the naughtiness as you described, but also the like how you structured them in how this composition is set up. Like the
yeah,
cake on the right side is like in front of the well the green, right?
yeah.
And the girl is also in front of the green in her own space, and then the girl in the middle has her own space as well. Like it's just perfect.
Yeah, it's the way I think. When wedding photographers begin, they only see things in the middle. A lot of tunnel vision is going on, and I always try to make a story. So you need 2 elements. I need something on the left and on the right. Like they have to know, they need to have the connection with each other. Something is happening, but you have to explain why it's happening. So you have a story. But what happens is that there's in the middle you have to do something with the middle if there has to be something in it in that middle, and most of the times triangles and pyramids existing in my pictures that I put a people or something on the background in the middle. But it's really a system in my photography with my compositions that already goes automatically. But yeah, you can see more in my pictures that I always have, or layering, then I have a lot of stuff going on in the picture. But at least with storytelling pictures, I need 2 elements, and that's what happens here. Yeah.
Yeah, you also try to combine your main subject with something else, with the surroundings or with somebody else.
Yeah, I like to show all the stuff. You need to know where it is and why. So I don't like burning or having clean backgrounds. I don't like that. A lot of photographers like that, but for me, I always say more is more, not less is more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, great. So, talking about more, there's a lot of geese or water birds. Are there geese in the
What?
water? Like your third favorite picture, yeah, where
Oh
you
yeah.
have all these ducks or
Yeah.
geese in the
Yeah.
water.
Yeah. I don't only know the Dutch word Nijlgansen. I don't know what.
Yeah, gans is a geese.
geese, but I still don't
Or
know
goose,
kind
one
of
goose, multiple geese.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
So
like
what?
a nature phenomenon. I don't know. It was just in the park here in Rotterdam. And to be honest, it was like, oh, we're going in June at noon to a park, a very normal park in Rotterdam for photo shoot. I thought, oh, I don't know what we're going to make from this because the light was so hard. And well, we were just walking on a bridge, and the bride, she was looking to the water like, this is strange, all those ducks in the water. And I was standing behind her, and I saw her looking, and that's how this picture exists. But it was, I'm very lucky with these ducks that it existed like this, because without those ducks, it was not that special. It was like a very weird phenomenon just in the park in Rotterdam on a normally day. I never saw it again in that park. And they were laying in the sunshine and making little noises. But for me, this picture is also special because I see this picture also like somebody is looking at the future, like looking at, do I have a lot of possibilities, or do I, because this is a picture that doesn't really have a moment in it. It's more about composition. But do I see nothing, or do I see a lot of possibilities? And yeah, I don't know. This picture always comes back in my life. I just starting to love it. So yeah.
Yeah, because it's from quite a few years ago, I guess, huh?
Yeah.
Um, and you say it's been taken in very hard light, but it doesn't look like that at all,
No.
because of the way the light is falling on her shoulder and on her head.
Yeah.
Uh, is that, yeah, maybe just a little cloud came through, or was it something you do in post production, or is it just?
A little bit with post production, and maybe also a little bit underexposing. I have to look back at it,
Yeah.
but yeah, yes.
Okay. So this is your favorite park to go to now, huh?
No,
This
not
is,
at all. Well, I
yeah.
all have good memories now, but this park for me it's very traditional, and well, it's nice to do yeah, so making some stories around it, but it's not a very special park to be honest.
No,
No,
no.
it's
It's
okay.
close to your house, right? It's,
Yeah,
or sort
yeah,
of. Yeah.
yes, yeah.
And how do you deal with all these photo shoot locations that you've been to for 10, 20, 30 times already?
Yeah. Um, I don't know. It's just I never come like 5 times again. It's always that you come again at a place, but then you go to another one. It's just 2 or 3 times a year that you come at the same place, and a year later on again. And I like that. That's okay for me. It's not that I have 20 times in a year the same place. That's never happens.
Okay. But it's
No.
not that you're trying, or when you come to the same place, that you automatically fall into the same
Oh yeah.
structure that you've been to before.
Yeah, 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 of course. And we all do that. We have our routine. This is how our brain works. And yeah, it's okay. But if I notice that with myself and think like, oh yeah, I'm going to challenge myself now. I do some basic stuff, and then I'm going to challenge myself to see other things. And well, sometimes I just take my time and just let the wedding couple go. I say, you have 5 minutes for yourself. I'm going to look around. We have time. They're happy to have their moment. So I'm not in a rush, never, to be honest. I don't want it. No.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, are there any big workshops or seminars, speaker opportunities coming up lately for you, or in
Yeah.
the future?
Yeah. Well, I just been to Brazil and to China, and now I'm staying for a while in Holland. And with Damon family, we're going to do the absolutely workshop. And we're doing the extra large version of it, also abroad, we think. And well, this absolutely workshop, you have the little versions if for not too big budgets, but we also going to do the bigger version. And
What?
in November, I'm going to Nine Dots for speaking in London, and next year to India to the Silk Inspire Festival. And
India.
yeah, I'm still I still have some contacts for Poland and the Ukraine, but that's not. I don't know if that's going to happen. You know, it's
Yeah.
just like yeah,
Have you ever
negotiate.
been to India before?
No, never been. No. Yeah. It was the planning that it would happen in October this year, but they say it's going to happen in March next year. So it's okay. It's the season for going abroad. It's usually from October till April. So for now, it's a little bit quiet because we have the wedding season now in Holland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, prepare for India. Is
Yeah. Yeah. I'm
going
going
to
to do
rock
that.
your world. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking and workshops. So we will see. Yeah. In Goa. Yeah.
All right. Nice. Hey, it was very nice to talk to you like this, Isabel, in English.
Yeah.
Usually we speak in Dutch, but now
Yeah.
for all foreign listeners, we've done this in English. And well, I hope to
Yeah.
see you again soon. Probably in some masters event or a workshop, some other conference. We'll definitely, or else we'll just go grab a coffee when the weather's good, right?
Yeah. Yes. Let's do that. Okay.
All right. Well, see you later, Isabel. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Bye bye.